Hey Pravindh, let's take a look at this set of essays you have sent to us. The first one is about part-time jobs during study. Here's what you said. In this day and age, working part-time has become a common practice among adults and young adults who are studying and have a few hours in the day to spare. Many would debate if the benefits of this outweigh the disadvantages. I am of the opinion that working odd jobs, or working an odd job, has more advantages than unfavorable circumstances, and this essay will provide reasons and examples for it. Okay, fine. On one hand, there is ample evidence that working part-time has more benefits. Okay, firstly, scholars who have a part-time job will have a financial advantage compared to those who do not. We say do not because we don't write contractions in IELTS essays. It's formal language, so we don't shorten our words. This is because having extra income allows students this is because having extra income allows students to, it's just a little wordy, to buy necessary study material and equipment, singular. For example, an IT undergraduate will need programming books like C++, which can cost please don't say a bomb, this is really informal language. Again, let's try to be a little more academic here, okay? Apart from that, computer accessories such as hard drives and software, singular, will need to be purchased as well. Okay. Secondly, working part-time allows students to become more mature and manage their time better, as they will have to plan around their classes, revision, and working hours. Scholars, S, will also avoid wasting time in unhealthy late-night habits, such as partying and drinking alcohol. Okay, so what's the takeaway here? What's the kind of summary statement that you want to say to link everything back? Okay, don't forget to add that. On the other hand, although there is a case for... That doesn't make sense. You just talked about how important it is. This whole paragraph talked about how it's such an advantage. So this sentence is actually really inappropriate. What you should say here is, on the other hand, although there is a case for the positives to having a part-time job, then linking it back to the previous sentence, the previous paragraph, the drawbacks cannot be overstated. All right, you needed to change this around. It's not an appropriate link. The drawbacks, S, to having a part-time job is that undergraduates could lose focus on their education if they pay too much attention to making a living. To give an example, if a scholar makes a decent living from working part-time, they will be tempted to work longer hours to make more money and subsequently lose interest in their studies. This will only be a short-term monetary gain and definitely a long-term loss, as education will probably help them to get a better job in the future. Okay? Although it can be argued that doing part-time jobs during studying has its disadvantages, it clearly brings more benefits to the students if they can stay focused on their education and if they stay focused on their education and they are done in a properly planned manner. I'm assuming you mean the jobs. Okay, so let's talk about this essay. Okay, in terms of task achievement and coherence and cohesion. I already corrected the grammar and the vocabulary as I was reading it through. There were some grammatical errors, there were some lexical errors, but nothing too serious. I would like you to fix them and improve them as much as possible, okay? But what I really want to spend a couple minutes talking about is those other two errors that I just mentioned. So first of all, in terms of coherence and cohesion, you told me that the benefits are stronger than the drawbacks. That means that you have to reverse the paragraphs. We always talk about the side that we do not support first, and then we leave the side that we do support to be right above our conclusion. Okay? This is the proper order for academic essays. Talking about the side that we don't support or that we support less, and then leaving our view for the end. Okay, so that's something you have to correct here, and it's something that would affect your coherence and cohesion score because it's not a logical progression of ideas. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is the actual prompt itself. You're supposed to discuss benefits and disadvantages, plural, so plural for both of them. I did feel like you talked about multiple advantages. You absolutely did that. But as far as the disadvantages go, you really only gave one. You said that they lose focus on their education because they are tempted by making all this money. So that's only one disadvantage, which means that you absolutely needed to provide at least one more. All right? And so this, of course, would affect your task achievement score because you haven't fully covered the demands of the task. Grammar and everything, there were some nice elements, but like I said, there were some mistakes, so I want you to fix those as well. But for me, definitely the biggest problems with the task achievement, that you only included one disadvantage, and that you needed to reverse the order of your paragraphs, okay? Let's see what else you have for us. You have this task 1 about school subjects, okay? So let's look at that straight away. The pie chart illustrates the popularity of school subjects in Germany for the year 2017. The 7 subjects mentioned were all of these things. Fine. From the chart, it is clear that more than 80% of the popularity of school subjects were from maths, physics, PE, and history. Okay, the 2 most favorite subjects were PE and history, and together made up half of the popularity. Get rid of this 2. Physics and maths were also liked and made up almost 40% of the popularity in the study. Biology and geography were not a preferred choice and added up to less than 15%, with each being 7.1 and 6.4. Not each, you can't say that. With them being 7.1, or how about with them at 7.1 and 6.4 respectively. Only a small minority preferred IT in school during the study in 2017 at less than 4%. All right, this is a little awkward. Let's clean that up. Only a small minority preferred IT just in 2017, okay, at less than 4%. Overall, out of the 7 subjects mentioned in the study of popularity among school subjects in Germany, only 4 subjects were clear favorites, which were maths, physics, PE, and history, and the other 3 did not interest the students in the school during the period of study in 2017. All right, maths, physics, PE, and history. Let's see. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate, so that's not a bad way to put it. Okay, the content is fine. If there was anything that I had an issue with, it was some of the grammar. But other than that, it was an appropriately written and appropriately selected. You managed to extend, which I know can be very difficult when you have a simple chart like this, but you actually did it quite effectively, so good work. All right, go ahead and correct these and return them back to us, and let's see your next set. All right, Pravindh, good job.